All right, y'all. This is Love and Hip Hop New York. This is season 8, episode 10. So the episode starts off with Anais in her backyard, and Ruben, he's going to be working late, so she invites Jonathan over, and pretty much they're having like a best friends night. So Jonathan pretty much updates Anais on the situation with Trent, and you know how he made the grinder account or whatever, and then you know how Trent pulled out some receipts on Jonathan about Jonathan, still being married and everything, and Jonathan is trying to explain, but I'm not even in love with him no more. Like, we're trying to get a divorce. He's in LA and this, that, and the third, blase, blase. But Jonathan, it still would have been a good idea had you told him that from the jump street. You know what I'm saying? But, so you were, wrong too. But anyway, so, as he's, talking to Anais about this, Ruben comes up. And, Jonathan, he's like, oh, hey, Ruben. And, Ruben is like, hey, Jonathan, I didn't know you were back in town. Like, what's been going on and everything. And Anais, she just looks so disgusted at the fact that Ruben has the audacity to sit down and try to have a conversation with them. And Anais is like, oh, can you excuse yourself? And Ruben is like, I haven't seen Jonathan in a long time. Like, what's the problem here? And Jonathan, he's like a deer in headlights because he's confused as to what's going on. And Anais feels like pretty much Ruben wants her to be a housewife, or at least that's how she feels and everything. And she's like, where's the romance and all this other stuff at? Like, we haven't had that in years. And Jonathan is like, I remember you used to be like, get up, my man's here, and put your legs up on him, and now it's not that anymore. And Ruben is like, she don't understand that, things are kind of different now because we have a kid. And Anais is like, oh, we should just stop having a life because of the kids and all this other stuff. Ruben is just kind of over it. He gets up or whatever, he tells them to enjoy their night and everything, and Jonathan, he's still like, what is going on here? And Anais is like, I done met somebody else who tickles my pickle. And when she said that, I was just kind of like, I mean, girl, I don't know if that was the thing to say, because tickle my pickle, and people are already kind of questioning the fact whether you male or female, despite the fact that you got kids. That probably was not the best thing for you to say. But anyways, we know that she's talking about Rich. Jonathan is like, oh my God, like, I already told you about him, but if you want to sit up here and mess around with him, then whatever. So then we have, Moniece, Lord, I was about to say Moniece, Mo and Yandy. They're having a play date with the kids, and Mo is telling, Yandy about the whole Googling situation and the lie detector test. And, she's used to just leaving when, her husbands or whatever cheat on her, but she's not too sure about this situation because, she saw how devastated her sons were when, she left their dad, and how devastated her daughters were when she left their dad and everything. And she don't want the kid that she got with Carl to go through the same thing. And it's just like, I mean, listen, I don't know why people I don't know why people feel like they have to stay for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could do more damage than good, being in a dysfunctional ass marriage, and then your kids got to witness that shit. You feel me? Like, I mean, granted, yes, if you and your significant other split up and everything, yes, it is going to be an adjustment for the kids, but it's y'all job to help them get through it, and to help them understand that y'all are still a family at the end of the day. It's just that mommy and daddy are not together anymore. We don't work well as a couple, but we're better off co-parenting. You know what I'm saying? So this whole for the kids excuse, I'm just like, whatever, you know what I mean? But and then plus, I mean, with Carl, we done heard about him cheating even before they got married. So like, whatever. But anyway, she felt his apology was sincere. I feel like it was bullshit. Yandy, it's sad to hear that, she's going through what she's going through in her marriage, and how it's affecting, Mo's career and everything. And Yandy just giving her words of advice pretty much. And Yandy is talking about what she's doing for like the different, all of the hurricanes that have happened and everything. And Mo is like, well, whatever I can do to help, I'm there and everything. So then we get the Creep Squad minus Rich. And they meet at the Creep Squad cave. And Self, he brings up the fact that Safari and Jacquay both messed around with Sophia or whatever. And I think Jacquay thought at first that, Safari was messing around with Sophia around the same time that he was with Sophia. And Safari was like, nah, that was like a couple years ago, whatever. And, Jacquay was like, I mean, cool. I ain't even with her no more anyway, so it don't matter. So, Self asked him about, he asked Safari about Dream Doll. And Safari is like, man, I saw her on Instagram posting another rapper for National Boyfriend Day and everything. And Self has said something like, I think she just trying to make you work hard for her or something like that. And Safari is like, no, I blame you for introducing, me to her and everything. Just because Self, and matter of fact, Self introduced you the Dream Doll for y'all to work together, not for you to be in a so-called relationship with her, because this relationship is bullshit. But yeah, like, nobody told you to mess around with her, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, so Snoop has an event for like some sneaker deal that she got, and she wants, Jacquay and Safari to both be there to perform and everything. So then we have Anais and Ruben. They meet outside or whatever. And I think they was outside of their house. Well, yeah, they were outside of their house. And she just knew it was like some little cute meetup, some cute romance type of stuff. And she's like, oh, what's going on here? You miss me? And everything. And he's like, no. He's like, no. He's like, why every time I come home, you're not? And, she talks about how he works all the time, and he talks about how she goes out all the time and everything. And she's like, well, I'm about to go back out right now and all this other stuff. And, she's like, you want a housewife, and you want somebody that wear rollers in their hair and smell like onions. And, he talks about, like, the nanny and all this other stuff. The kids are always seeing the nanny and everything. And, she don't want her kids to look at her like, dad was always taking care of her, and then that she didn't go out and follow her dreams and everything. But it's like, Anais, you gotta compromise here. You know what I'm saying? You being out at the club all night long, and you married, and, all day, every day, or every weekend, like, I mean, yeah, it has to be some type of compromise here. And like I said, I'm not quite sure if Ruben just expects her to stay in the house all the time. I don't think that's what he wants. But, he has to compromise too. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like it's a lot of not compromising going on in this marriage and everything. But, yeah, Anais, she's really a trip. She's really a piece of fucking work. And he's like, if you don't give me the keys to the car right now and stay home, I'm filing for a divorce. And she's like, man, whatever. And, that's that with them. So then we have Mo. She's, rehearsing with her vocal coach for some new song that she has. I forgot the name of the song. And Carl pops up. All this popping up shit that Carl be doing just really be creeping me the fuck out. It's just like, why? Like, it creeps me the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? It's like he comes off as a creep. So anyways, I guess, like, he felt some type of way because she left without telling him or something like that. Like, he needed her help with something. I don't know. And she's like, well, you didn't tell me that, when I was still at the house and everything. And, she's like, I still have a career pretty much. He wants communication. And she's like, why when I don't reply to you ASAP, you feel like it's a communication issue? And he's like, it's not the fact that you don't reply ASAP. It's the fact that you don't reply at all and all this other stuff. And, Mo is like, he got a lot of nerve to be trying to have some trust issues when he's the one who's been fucking up. And, she's saying how she got to get a lead man for her video and everything. And he's like, I'm the lead man of all your videos. And she's like, well, things change, partner. Okay? And, pretty much she wants to do something different. She's like, look, you can audition or whatever, but yeah, I'm trying to do something different here, So, then we have Mariah Lynn and Self. And from the previews of last week, I already knew I had to pause that scene to just woosah myself, because I already knew I was going to get pissed off listening to this conversation. So he tells her, why I gotta get 15 phone calls about you and Dream Doll fighting and everything. And Mariah is like, she told me that you said to meet with me and all this other stuff because my music is flopping and everything. And he's like, I would never speak to anyone about another person's music. And I'm like, Self, you is a goddamn lie. Like, okay, yes, you might have not have said like, oh, she flopping, you need to talk to her or whatever, the Dream Doll, but that's where you were getting at when you had the conversation with Dream Doll last week. Okay, like don't sit up here and act like. He pissed me the hell off. Like, please fucking stop it, okay? So, he's like, maybe y'all had words, but she didn't swing on you or whatever. And, Mariah is trying to tell him, she started with me. And he's like, I can't believe you 100% because you're always the common denominator. Mariah's getting frustrated, and I felt for her. And it's like, I do not like the way Self is doing Mariah Lynn. It's the same shit that he did with Cardi and everything. And like I said last week, Mariah, you need to let Self go and do your own thing because you're not going to get nowhere with this motherfucker, okay? And then the fact that he just automatically believe in Dream Doll is just so innocent. Like, fuck out of here. She started that shit, and you talk about Mariah Lynn always being in the middle of some shit. No, Dream Doll has been in the middle of the shit since this show fucking started, okay? This shit with Brie and Bianca. She got into the middle of that shit. And then on top of that, going to drag Mariah Lynn into the situation. I don't understand. And I don't understand why you don't understand that. But anyways, she's like, he don't never defend her. He always defending Dream Doll and everything. And she's like, if you got one more time not to defend me, and I'm over you and Gwyneth. And I'm like, girl, please be over him now. Fuck a next time. Be over him now, okay? Anyways, so then we have Navarro and Rich. Rich decides he wants to take Navarro out because, Navarro told him that Ashley is pregnant, and that's why she kind of was, flipping out a little bit. So, they go to like this hookah place or whatever. Jacquay shows up, and they're telling Jacquay about how Anais, they telling Jacquay about Anais, I should say. And, Rich is like, she slid in my DMs, and, now we real familiar with each other. I'm just like, oh my God, please, okay? So, Anais got like, pretty much some type of meet and greet thing that, Navarro needs Rich to go with her to or whatever. And Navarro's pretty much trying to step back a little bit so he could focus more on Ashley and her being pregnant. So, next thing you know, Anais shows up and everything, and Navarro's like, I texted you and told you this was a guy's night or whatever, and she's like, well, I'm here now and everything, and she sees Jacquay or whatever, introduces herself, and she trying to scoot past him, but she got her ass all up on him in front of Rich, and I'm just like, you're a married woman. Not only are you fucking Rich, and now you got your tooting your ass all up on Jacquay. Like, girl, I really can fucking not. her and Rich, they go off in the cut somewhere real quick, and she's like, Ruben, me and Ruben had a fight. He asked for a divorce and everything, and he's like, isn't that what you wanted anyway? So what's the problem? And Anais is like, I mean, this shit is gonna get real ugly, and I'm gonna be homeless. I just need to know if you have my back or whatever. He says he got her back, but she's not sure because he doesn't sound assuring or whatever. And he pretty much reassures her again that he has her back, when shit goes down and all this other stuff. So then we get Safari and Dream Doll. I'm tired of talking about this shit. I really am. He pretty much wants to know where their relationship is going. He got some questions on the card or whatever, so they don't be talking over each other. He's asking if they have a future together or not. She asked him the same thing because she's not sure. He feels like they do. She don't know or whatever. He brings up the Instagram post. She's like, because he was asking her, are you talking to some other guys? And she's like, I speak to a couple of people on the phone, but that's because, you're lacking in everything. So what else do you want me to do? I said, Safari. Chat. Girl, please, okay? So anyways, she brings up Mariah Lynn and how, Mariah Lynn wants everything that she has. And I'm like, don't neither one of y'all got shit for real. So what the fuck are you talking about? But she's like, she brought up the fact that she gonna take my man from me and everything. Like, have you spoken to her and all this other stuff? And Safari acting stuck like, yeah, whatever. And Dream Doll sitting up here telling him not to work with her and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, I don't understand where you bitches get this idea from. That somebody not supposed to work with somebody because you don't like them. You're trying to stop their coin. Especially when you started the shit, okay? So she trying to make him promise that he not going to work with Mariah. He kind of dancing around because he don't want to, give a definite answer because he kind of do want to work with, he kind of does want to work with Mariah. And she's like, you know what? I'm out of here. Go work with bum bitches and all this other stuff. Whatever, girl. So Mo, she has the auditions for her video and everything. Carl is late. And here he go with that popping up shit again. So pretty much making all the other guys clear the room and everything. And pretty much he just like, so do I have the job or not? And she's like, first of all, you're late. You didn't audition. Like I already told you, you have to work for this shit. You have to go just as hard as these dudes. Like that's what it is. So then we get Juju and Yandy. Juju wants Yandy to, play this girl named Drunken Danielle in her play. And Safari shows up. And I guess they're having like a little practice session or whatever. And, Safari kind of, overheard Juju and Yandy talking about, the single life and all this other stuff. And Safari is like, I shouldn't hear that come from neither one of y'all. So Juju is telling Safari that her and Cam are no longer together or whatever. So then they get into practicing and everything. And Safari is so animated. He is so animated. But, I was laughing or whatever. And so Yandy, she leaves. Safari wants to talk to Juju real quick or whatever, and give her insight based on his relationship, with Nicki Minaj, and their breakup. And he said it took him 2 years to get over her. I kind of feel like Safari's still not quite over her, especially the videos that I've seen. Like, I don't know. I don't think he's quite over it, but he tells her pretty much he tries to invite her out and everything. And she's like, no, I'm just single and I ain't trying to mingle or whatever. And listen, and he's like, listen, this is not no date type of situation. We just going out as friends. And, it's going to, I'm trying to take you to a place pretty much that I went to after my breakup with Nicki and everything. It might help you out a little bit. So she agrees to it, and that's that. So then we're at Snoop's event, and Safari pretty much didn't invite Dream Doll because she on the bullshit. So He's talking to Snoop about Dream Doll, and then Jacquay and Bree, they show up. So after everybody performs, because Snoop had Mariah Lynn perform as well. Mariah Lynn comes over to Safari very respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Brittany, she with Jacquay and Snoop and saying, I don't know, I don't like what's going on over there and everything. So Mariah, she's saying how she wants to do a collab with Safari. Well, she wants to do the collaboration with Safari and wants to know if he's serious about it or not. And he's like, he's serious, but he heard about what happened between her and Dream Doll, and he don't want to be messy. And she's like, but business is business, okay? And Safari is like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna sit up here and let no woman control me and my paper or whatever. So Brittany or Bree, she goes over there and she's like, what's going on here and everything, this, that, and the third. And Safari's like, me and Mariah just chopping it up. And, she's like, well, Dream Doll don't fuck with her, so I don't fuck with her and everything. And it's like, but your friend started this whole thing. Like, are we in fucking preschool? Oh, just because your friend don't fuck with somebody, that means you gotta follow suit all the time, especially when your friend is in the wrong. She's in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, so her and Mariah Lynn, they start going back and forth. Brittany throws this drink or whatever. So Mariah throws one back and everything. They take Bree out. And Snoop, she tells Mariah how she's wilding and all this other stuff. And I don't know if she did that just because, they already carried Brittany out and everything, so she couldn't really reprimand Brittany too. Because I just felt like, okay, but you already knew what Brittany was going over there to do, because she told you and Jacquay that she about to go over there and say something. Oh my God. Anyways. So then we get this meet and greet with Anais, and Rich is there. He set up the whole thing. Jonathan is there to support his, BFF. And Jonathan, we know Jonathan is not here for Rich. Understandably so. You know what I'm saying? Especially because he has, we see that he has like some type of relationship with Ruben as well. So, Jonathan tells Rich that, I like the event and everything, but, and Rich kind of knows where he's getting at, and he's like, listen, this thing with me and Anais wasn't planned, next thing you know, we waking up in bed looking at each other. So Jonathan is like, so y'all had sex? And, Rich is like, yeah, we had sex and everything, listen, I'm gonna go over here and y'all talk about that or whatever. So, well, no, before he had walked away, Jonathan told him, she's married. It hasn't ended yet, or whatever. And Rich had said whatever he said, I don't know if he said it was about the end or something like that he had said. So, Jonathan is like, I'm here for you, moving on and everything, but you're starting something before it's even ended. And Jonathan is like, listen, I know it's ironic for me to say something because I'm still legally married, but me and him are not, we're not together. He lives in LA. I live in New York. We're in the process of trying to get a divorce and everything. But, and he reminds Anais about the track record that he has with women and everything. And so, Anais is like, that's his past or whatever. And as she's saying this, Jonathan peers over at Rich, giving the waitress his number. And Jonathan is like, please. He's sitting over here giving the waitress his number and shit, but that's the past. He's saying this in his confessional or whatever. So then next thing you know, Ruben shows up. And he's like, hey, babe, I'm here to support you and everything, And he's like, who's this, And he's asking Rich, do you work for, Navarro? And I was like, And we're going to see next week that some shit going to blow up in a couple of people's faces. So, yeah, you guys, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back. And I'll be back for Love and Hip Hop Miami. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in a few.